and great performance. Let me tell you about non-performance. Most of us, we think Aruguaka non-performance, it's people who are not performing in the space. It's people who are not available in the space of performance. No. A person can be a non-performer once they are present in the space. I care about a cell phone, that gadget that you have in your pocket. When I call it, it could be in your pocket, it's there, it's present. It's what? Present. But I can call it and Musatwa can say subscriber unavailable. So there are people who are in this phase or hierarchy of performance, non-performance. When it comes to truancy or absenteeism, we don't have a problem. They are always present in the school. But their performance does not confirm their abilities. I think was certain things when I need to upon my shoulders, who regains them more of the things that I need to say. So there are people who are non-performers, not because they are not in the school. They are in the school, present but unavailable because they don't perform. You know vintage cars, huh? Older cars, man. We call them vintage cars. It has got the body, it has got the engine, it has got the tires, it has got everything that a normal car has. But we normally refer to some of those cars as non-performing cars. Because it doesn't even pass 80. But it's got all the qualities that good cars have got. So you could be in your tie, in your three-piece, in whatsoever. You could have a degree in education, but still be a non-performer. And non-performers are the ones who don't even care about the feelings of those they work with. They are the ones most of the time with a negative attitude to inflict upon others. They are recruiters and agencies of negativity. Non-performers are people who don't care about anything. They care about seeing other people crumble down. They've got PhD, pull him or her down. Why? Because they are non-performing themselves and they've lost hope in themselves to do better. Non-performers are the people who also get affected by longevity. I've been long in the space, you can't tell me anything. You are long, but you are not productive. Because longevity does not guarantee productivity. I call these people non-performers. Yatseba Halala will be limited now, because now I'm deep. Now I'm prophesying. Non-performers, they've got the looks, but they are not performing like their looks. Non-performers, they've got the papers hanging on the wall to prove that they qualify to do what they're doing. But the papers hanging on the wall, they're not hanging in their hearts. Non-performers are the people who are not working for leaders. Are the people who feel entitled for positions without capacitating themselves for positions. I deserve this position because I've been long here. I deserve this position because in a certificate of attendance from UNISA, I deserve this position because I'm connected in high places. This is the attitude of non-performance. Once you are in this, you are an ICU patient. Anytime the machine is going off, anytime you'll die. And the death I'm talking about is not physical. I'm talking about the intangible death. A person who has died, it means their morals have died. It means their emotional quotient has died. It means their intelligence has died. So you find a person who's supposed to express intelligence acting foolishly with a degree. Why? Because they are swallowed and overwhelmed by the phase called non-performance. Please do me a favor and ask the person next to you all the way now, is he not talking about you? Then we go to the next place, growing does not mean you are a dead performer. It simply means you lack the strategies and the skill and the know-how to start proliferating your outcomes. So most people who underperform is not because they are foolish. They just need activation. They just need a push. They just need somebody to give them tips and tweak their approach in performance, so that when their approach is tweaked, they start to grow from underperformance into the next phase, which I'm going to talk about. So underperformance are the people who are producing more 20%, 30%, 40%. And it's a dangerous phase to be at as well, unless you are willing to grow from the phase. If there's no willingness, you will remain an underperformer for a longer time that you can think of. And when you are an underperformer, who wants to associate with you? When you are an underperformer, nobody wants to be your friend. Nobody wants to be called an underperformer because of associating with an underperformer. But there is hope here. There is hope here. These are the people whom, if you can give them positive words and motivation and coaching and mentoring, they can become better people. There is hope here. Underperformance. Now, you can grow from underperformance to average performance, which is very dangerous as well, because in average performance, that's when you are celebrated because you have passed the subject. You didn't fail the subject. Some of us, the degrees are not necessarily for Shankaton. We pass it average. Not 50%. And now you have qualified. It means to pass it. Hello? You are better off than a person who has not even studied what you studied for. But the danger of average performance is that you can camp in mediocrity and convince yourself that you are excellent. But problem is because you are passable. So I don't know what you are passing. I don't have a problem. I'm not failing. I'm passing. Until you are under average performance. The danger of this is that when placed amongst people who are excelling, you become exposed. When you are with these people, underperformers and non-performers, you feel like a champion. Champion of victories never won. It's not very powerful. You can be a champion of victories that you have never won, just because there are those who are doing less than you are doing. So all of us, our goal should be from today, I'm hungry for this phase. Great performance. We are not even going to talk about how more at least. No at least today. After today, all of us, we are going for great performance, excellence, pinnacle performance, high productivity, high profitability, because we have it in us to can produce this great performance. Once you are a teacher who wants to blame the children, you are misplaced. You should be driving trains. Why am I saying this? If you blame the children for the subject which you yourself was teaching them, you are simply saying to us, you have no potential to make anybody pass the subject. You are saying to us, even yourself are a failure in the subject. Because those you produce to be better in the subject are failing, and you are blaming them for the failure. If you blame somebody else for the subject you are teaching, it means you yourself are blaming yourself for your incapacitation in teaching the subject. I told her issue poker. So before you point fingers at anybody else, point the fingers at you. And say, but this is not me. Because now I can take a hard-headed learner and make them to be a great performer. That's me. That's who I am. You should be trusted. Look, some of you have got over 20 years, 30 years in the education space. You should be trusted, or they can take you to act as a principal in a school that's doing worse, because they judge your performance in the school very well. Back home, we trust this one. this one can change the school. But if you don't see yourself as a person who can change the school, that's not doing well. Even if we can believe in you, if you don't believe in yourself, our belief in you is futile. It's non-essential. So I'm here to tell you the reality of or these are the phases of performance. And you should find yourself where you are. Be honest with yourself. If you are an underperformer, you are an underperformer. Tell yourself, I'm an underperformer, but I'm going to do something to change my performance to become a better performer. Who gets the glory at the end of the day? Yourself. So why should we want to prove points to other people at the expense of the glory we are supposed to be doing? Because sometimes we have that mindset, I will not even change my results. But I wasn't doing anything. Why pull I away? But if you change the results, you are not even doing them a favor. They may celebrate with you, but the one who gets the ultimate glory, it's you who has performed. So our objective and intention is to create a synergy amongst ourselves. How many of you can boldly say you are excellent performers? Please lift up your hand. No, I'm talking in reality now. When you judge your outcomes, that are there. How many of you can say you are excellent performers? 1, 2, right. How many of you can say you are average performers? No, there's no way you don't lift your hand. You must lift your hand somewhere. Average performers? Awesome. We have many of those. Underperformers? Thank you so much for your honesty. Non-performers. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a hand here. But you see, that's where it begins, with you being honest with yourself. This is where I am. And how do you measure your level of performance? Are you an average performer because of maybe when you only have a diploma and not a degree? Are you an average performer? No, you are looking at the learners you are teaching, the results they are producing, and then you take accountability for the results. You don't shift responsibility and say, but it's not me. Yes, about who. So if whenever then you are a leader who is strategic. You can transform those learners to do what you want to do. Do you know what you can change the learners? Yes. You've got the potential of whether you can change a stubborn and arrogant child, have a good child at the end. Because you have that capacity. As a leader, you can be strategic and creative to change somebody. Now I need the hard-headed person. I've been living now for 2 months, for 3 months. I tell you, I can influence that person to change and become better. Not out of manipulation, but out of being real with them. I lost my younger brother in 2020 in August. It was a pain that I even blocked certain people from my phone because they didn't attend the funeral. I was bitter and angry towards everybody. I said, these ones are not the people I will give. And some of them did not even know about the funeral, but I was angry at them because I was hating. I was bitter. Why? My younger brother, I sat with him most of the time trying to guide him and correct his behavior, but he was not listening. And eventually when he died, I didn't look at him and say he was not listening. I looked at myself. What is it that I did not do better for him to change whilst he was still alive? You see, I'm giving myself what? Feedback instead of shifting what? Responsibility. Because I believe in myself so much where there is nobody I cannot transform and there is nobody I cannot change. So because I appeared not to have won with him, I take the blame and I become responsible and accountable. You know what? That has taught me. It has taught me already there is nobody now who was like my younger brother who can die under my mentorship and guidance. Why? Because I have failed in that area. This is the feedback I'm giving myself. I have failed in that area, but I cannot keep on failing. If you keep on failing, it means you are a failure now. It's no longer about the event of failure. Now you are in the condition of failure. So it's all about synergy. How do we work together? How many of you are from this school? This school. So I've got how many? 6, 7 people. Would you say you are working effectively with your colleagues? Anyone? Is the relationship okay with those you work with? How do you measure that? 100%. 100%. How do we measure that? We cannot look at therefore we are okay. You check your emotional interaction and connection. The person you are eating with during lunch, can they trust you with their personal problems? Are you trustworthy? Hello, class? When yourself, can you share your personal problems with your husband, with the person you share lunch with in school? So if we say we have an effective working relationship, it's beyond the lunch time that we spend together. It becomes an emotional interaction and connection. And we also should connect psychologically. You can't be with people whom, when you share your dreams for your career with them, they crush you. You are not having a good relationship with such people. No, you know what? Now I'm going to be promoted as an HOD. I'm working hard. That's your dream. Nothing wrong to have such a dream. But if you have people who say, oh, HOD guy, most people will say, forget it. You don't need such people. Because they are talking from their personal experiences, not from the realm of truth. Because I told you, truth is what you believe about yourself, not what is surrounding you. Even if there are politics in the school, you are not a politician, you are a performer. Perform. We're not perform until your performance can break the barriers and you can get what you want. Nothing is impossible. So this is a team synergy, staff development and motivation workshop. I'm rushing so that we can do our Q&A, because Q&A is important. Here I'm presenting to you what I have prepared, right? But there are things that apply in your unique spaces which I don't know about, which when you ask today, we might be able to navigate and get the answers for them. So these are some of the programs that we can do further for your schools beyond this 1 hour motivation and workshop. We can do your learner motivation. You know, sometimes when I address people and I'm talking to people and I see how lives get impacted, I wish during my times in school, I wish we had people like myself in those times. We would have been better. Because words, say this after me, words create wealth. Say it again, words create wealth. So I would have been living in a better world then had I had the right words. And that's where learner motivation is very critical. You can undermine it yourself because you are not a learner. But I'm telling you, the learners themselves know how much they need words of motivation. And when you motivate learners, it's all about bringing your story. All of us have got different stories. I have got my own stories. Growing up in Soweto, under the exposure of criminals, whom some of them would park stolen cars at our home. And police would come and wanting those cars, whilst I'm coming from school to eat at home, I find police surrounding my home. Where I've seen people getting stabbed and they would hold their intestines with their hands as a young person. Where I would see people getting shot at in front of me. Until I believed to survive this environment, you need to have a gun yourself. The impact of the environment on the mind of a child is very real. And that's why I'm saying you may undermine learner motivation because you are not a learner. But there is a negative impact and influence in the mind of the learner from where they come from. And they need somebody to speak sense into their lives. Life is what you make it. Brothers and sisters, life is what you make it. Some of us are broke not because we are not earning. We are broke because we are in competition. You are buying things you don't afford because you want to fit in. Sometimes you fit in whilst becoming a misfit. Because in your own space, some of us at times are entertainment. Already you have planned for December or you are going to Port Elizabeth with and already you have a budget. You have thousands of rents. But if I come to your bedroom, you are sleeping in a boat. How Namala will disappear? What is of value for you? Right now, I'm here to motivate you to ease the pressure on your shoulders. When you live here, you need to go home to a comfortable house. When you climb a bed, it should be comfortable. It shouldn't sing. It shouldn't sing. When you climb the bed, it should be comfortable. Why? You afford that kind of a bed. But the problem is, you want to entertain yourself over making your personal space to be of comfort. You can't work 30 years and you are going on a holiday every year in these 30 years, 3 times a year. But your wall at home is not plastered. Simple plastering. Come on, the fellow, the wall must look good. I'm not expecting halal, that's fine. But I'm saying let us have our priorities right. Let us remember the purpose why you are in the education space. You are not in the education space so that you can qualify for more debts. What is a clear bonus? I will charge you for financial literacy workshop, but I'm giving you a bonus. You do not earn money so that you can qualify for more debts. Because debts are evil. There is no one who is swimming in debts who's got peace. That's how evil debts are. Somebody can be saying halal right now, but inside they are dying because of debts. And when you look at the car they're driving, I'm telling you, it's a big machine that consumes big petrol, which somebody doesn't afford. But they went for it because Samuel Baloy is also driving a big machine. I want to be like him. And you don't know the budget he has, Samuel Baloy. You don't know the investments. You don't know when my father died in 1997, what did he leave behind for me? When you are looking at the salary, I will probably say, so if he can achieve this, I can also achieve. Unnecessary competition. Please look at the person next to you and say to them, be content with who you are. Be content with what you have. Be content with what you have. Don't compete even with yourself. Don't compete even with yourself. Then we've got SMT and SGB workshop. In the schools in Gauteng, I don't know here, but SGB is a problem. School governing bodies are problems because they don't carry the same vision that the leader of the school might have about the school. They come from outside with no knowledge about education. And they want to impose rules that only regresses the schools and not progress the school. How can a school pay 120,000 for fence? 120,000 for fence. But a school can't pay 10,000 to remove the fence in the minds of the people. I should come again. The school can pay 120,000 to fence the infrastructure, but the minds of the people still have fences that need to be removed. Okay. So you've got a good-looking school, but a non-performing school. When you have taken money to invest in the looks of the school, not in the development of the people who must produce excellence. And that's why I'm happy today, or at least the schools so they need to at least invest the little that they've invested, so that the fence in some of us, of our minds, can be removed, and our minds can start getting fresh air and think creatively and start changing things in our sector. Then we've got team building facilitations. In case you don't have such a session again, let me tell you the truth. Going out as educators to a place somewhere and pay for 3 days, only to go eat and drink, it's not team building. It's entertainment. So most schools recover we are going out for team building. And if you come on it's all about eating, drinking, and sleeping. Waking up, eating, drinking. That's not team building. Team building, there must be value for it. The activities must carry a message. It's not all about without a ball. In playing the soccer, what is the lesson that we are learning to bring back to the school? There must be facilitation of content unpacking and content presentation, so that when we come back, we are really built as a team. Everybody, because of what we drank there. I don't think school we are still the same people. Same arrogant, same negative people, same people who don't want the team to be one. When the team says we are doing fundraising for this, we are not for alarm because it's their nature. They are already comfortable in liberation. So team building facilitation, whole school evaluation and whole school improvement. We also facilitate, especially the SWOT analysis. Because most of the time, how the schools do their SWOT analysis, it's not effective. SWOT analysis, let me give you a tip, you can write it down in your mind. SWOT analysis, it's all about checking in our school, what are our weaknesses, right? Who are the people who are enemies in our school? Who are the people who perpetuate wrongdoing in our school? Who are the people that tell leadership in school more? Who are the people who think they are cool by disrespecting others? So we check all those. Who are the people who come late and never see the need to report? I don't like to make a difference there, but it's not easy. Who are the people who are always late and nobody can tell them because they are backed up by unions? Who are the people who set time around by their conduct and behavior which is unprofessional in the space? And they don't care because nobody can tell them. Nobody can touch them. Who are the people who see the importance or the need to disrespect the principal in front of all colleagues so that they can earn votes from those who are afraid of the principal themselves? That's SWOT analysis. And we're not saying all these things, pointing a finger at anybody. We become wise in facilitating this process. We write down everything which is a challenge for our school. Then from the floor, we're going to have solutions to the challenge, suggested by the floor. Once we have that, we are a team now that has agreed on certain conduct and behaviors. We've agreed. If me and you don't have an agreement, you can't tell me right now, because we don't have an agreement. But if you and I agree every month, it's only half 10. If I go full tank, you've got a right to come back to me and say, no, but now you are going astray because that's not what we have agreed to do. So we help you do a proper SWOT analysis whereby we can identify the problems in our school and come up with solutions to the problems as a team. So there's nobody imposing solutions on anybody. Is that clear? Are these programs that can add value? Learner motivation? Learner motivation? Yes. It can be a program that can add value. SMT and SGB workshop. Team building, because sometimes if in the SMT I've got 2 minutes to finish this, my timekeeper has already showed me I'm out of time. If the SMT is not united and not in order, now I'm talking as a coach. If the SMT is not united and not in order, do you know where from the top there will be SMT members who influence other members who are supporting it? And what that causes, it causes groups within the school. Another group ya baloi, another group ya mlo. And a group ya baloi is against the principal, or this one is against the deputy, or this one is against. So those things, we don't want them in our schools because they are toxic. We cannot develop effectively under such toxic environments. Environment must be conducive for us to grow. A lion does not need water because it's not mandated to swim. A lion needs a jungle. A jungle zebra. But a fish does not need a jungle. It needs what? Water. So it's up to us to know what kind of environment is conducive for our development and the unleashing of our full potential. The sharper class. Am I making sense to you? These are things that we need. I think we are human beings. Iron sharpens what? We are all not perfect. So don't defend your wrongdoing. Hello? When somebody comes and exposes your wrongdoing, be happy. Or at least you have an opportunity to change yourself. Don't say, one year I was on general. Maybe not changing them. Nobody told me about it. Maybe it's God now ministering to your heart so that you can change and become a better person. And when you change and become a better person, it benefits you. I'm here today, not only to teach, but also to learn. The thing that I'm saying, some of them I did not prepare. They are not part of my preparation. I'm learning in the process. And when I live here, I become a better person. Tomorrow when you meet me, you must meet what? A better person. These are my details. You can put them on your phone, write them on your diary, if you will need to be in touch. Let's do Q&A after I've spoken about these two books. How many of you will say the session was beneficial? Please be honest. Stand like us first. All right, so it's a majority. I'm not worried about the honesty. And I've got two books out of the 12. I've got this one titled Unflappable. How to navigate out of crisis into solution or into creativity. Crisis is an event you don't plan. It's an event you might not be prepared for. But crisis can be overcome when you learn the strategies of navigating out of crisis into creativity. Every problem, solution is within the problem. You can't find a solution outside of the problem. All right, if a couple has a challenge, a married couple, and they are always fighting in GBV stuff and stuff, where is the solution? It's within the problem. So those who come from outside, they only facilitate the process of finding the solution hidden where? In the problem. So crisis A, it clearly the solution for some of us. Some of us who have learned to stay at home because there is a but because of the corona, I'm just joking. So I talk about contingency plan, I talk about a lot of things. It's a book that you need. Right spectators, no obstacles, it's a book on perception. No matter who you are, what experience you have. If you don't see yourself as an eagle, you'll never fly. Actually, proper English, it's you'll never soar. Because eagles don't fly, they soar into greater heights. If you see yourself, your perception about yourself is that of a chicken. You'll focus on ground-orientated issues. Issues of jealousy, issues of gossip, who said what about who, where and how. You'll focus on cheap talks. You'll focus on having friends that don't take you anywhere. Because why? Your mindset and your attitude is that of a chicken. You are ground-oriented. But if you are an eagle, you soar into greater heights. You are always focusing on big things and big projects and big educational ideas that can change the whole education in South Africa. Do you know what amongst the heads that are here today, there are ideas that can blow the education space tomorrow? But most of us, it's because of our perception. You only see Panyaza bringing that into life, not yourself. You only see somebody from somewhere bringing that into life, not yourself. It's a perception about yourself. If you don't see yourself as a beautiful woman, you'll start walking like a man. Because the perception about yourself is wrong. The sharp class. If you see yourself as a beautiful woman of shake what your mama gave you. So these books are 280 each, but if you take both, I'm going to give you for 500. So here's how you can order. If you have the money and you want the book, you can pay today and get the book. But if you don't have the money and you want the books, you'll take the books and then you'll write down on the form your details, your number, your contact, and when you're going to pay, I'll send you the bank details so that you can make a transfer when you are ready to make the transfer. Thank you so much for listening to me. I also have a cheap point you can sign. Your black card, you cannot one. So thank you so much for listening to me. Did you benefit about the session or was it a waste of time? Yes. Did I hear anybody say waste of time? Thank you so much. Let's take one or two questions from the floor so that we can answer them. My details are there. Leadership? I know there's always a question that will come.
It's not a question, it's a question. Then are you still going to give us the bonus presentation?
That's what I'm saying. I know there's a question for you. There's a bonus presentation which I promised to assist the team with developing unique values and team culture that you can uniquely uphold as a team. And one of the things that we're going to teach, every school, I should see your values. They must be visible. If you don't have visible values, you can't blame people when they don't uphold it. Hello, class. If you don't have punctuality as a value that you have adopted as a team, when somebody comes in late and is walking slow from their car into the classroom, nobody else can tell them anything because we never agreed on that value. But if we agree on that value as a team, if I come late tomorrow, it doesn't need the principal. Anyone who sees me late can confront me and say, that's not what we said. Am I making sense? Yeah. So if you don't want to be held accountable, it's because you have ceased to grow. People who are in the growth journey, they want to be held accountable because that's feedback that helps them to grow further and further and further. Like about our whole, how do you feedback about me? Tell me. If you say no, if you can tweak it and do like this, I won't take offense. I'll take it as a lesson and I'm going to implement it somewhere. Everybody, that guy is dynamic. And this because of your feedback. So I want to feedback it on me. Yeah, so that session will still come at a later stage. We will communicate with the organizers to arrange that session. We can't have it tomorrow because after this, everybody is expected to digest what was being said here and apply whatever that they have learned to become better performance in their respective spaces. Then at a later stage, we'll arrange another session, which I promised to be a bonus session. I always keep my promises. So I'll come and do that kind of session. Like Tabela was a one of the Gestapo. I shouldn't come back again. I didn't say it.
Thank you, sir. I wanted to check something. When you do SWOT analysis,
yeah.
I think you shared examples of weaknesses.
Yeah.
Can you please just share 2 or 3 other opportunities in the school environment?
2 or 3 what?
Examples of opportunities.
Of opportunities.
Yeah.
An opportunity could be our ability to fundraise R1 million as a school. How many of you believe a school can fundraise R1 million? Or how many of you have seen a school fundraise R1 million? Only 1 person. So it's possible for a school to fundraise R1 million. You see these brains that are here today, these are quality brains and quality minds. If anybody can write down an idea of fundraising today, just hypothetical brainstorming, if everybody can, or maybe can somebody tell me one way we can fundraise? I'm planning any of each child 5 rand. Any one idea of fundraising that you can think of. If you don't lift up your hands, I'll call you. One idea. All right. How many companies are there in this area? Plus, minus? Businesses. I'm talking lawyers, I'm talking doctors, I'm talking shop owners, I'm talking consultants, I'm talking malls, I'm talking shops in the malls. How many are there? Many. Do you know that every company by law should do what we call CSI? Corporate social investment. By law, every company should give into a non-profit organization. Did you know that? Yeah? Yeah? You didn't know that? So if we can go on a letterhead of the school with the local council signature or letter on the letterhead, and go to every business that's here and demand, not the request. I can't give you sequel. And demand that they contribute something towards a CSI project. Little or now you must go with a project. Don't say give us money for Kwamba Wash College. There's nobody who's going to give you money from Kwamba Wash College. You must have a project, all right, with a budget. When you can do that and then go outside of this area as well to other companies, you duplicate the same thing. Within 2 or 3 months, you'll have pledges that can be over $1 million. I've seen a school in Gauteng raise over $1 million through this strategy that I'm dealing with. Businesses are bound by law to have CSI projects, every business. And that's how some of us get money as well from companies. I've got a foundation and register. So when I go to NetBank, I know NetBank, they've got the agricultural project which they are funding. Did you know about that? And I'm giving a tip now. You are in the villages, right? Where there's so much of agricultural activities that are happening. You can go to NetBank, they have a budget already for that. I'll even give you a contact of the head of that project. Would you like that? Yes. I'll give you the contact of the head of that project. They go green. I don't like one logo here, it's one. It's green. So if a school has got a yard like this one, which is big, if you can identify a space, right? Have a business plan that says we're going to utilize space this size, and we're going to have so much people. I guess they don't need to even come. They know you are at school, and they know you've got a yard, and they know you're going to need people whom you are paying every day. Then you design salaries for those people. If you are going to pay them 4.5 each person, you write 12.5. It's not duplicity, it's business. Again, you want to make profit. Hey, 12.5 salaries. The Babatala 4.5. So from each person, if you are hiring 100 people, how much profit are you making? 8,000 per person. I can be teacher maths. How much are you making?
80,000.
100 people, 8,000.
800,000.
How much is that? 800,000. That net bank can give you. They have millions and millions of budget for such projects. So we just need to know which door to knock at. But schools are very conducive to get companies to give them. I didn't have to bring a free session leadership. The bonus free session. No, I didn't have, because I charged you 15,000 per school and you clustered 3 schools, which means each school is 5,000. So I'm not getting what I would have gotten. But I'm still giving you a bonus session worth 115,000, right? A bonus session, my worth, 115,000. I'm going to use that as a CSI project I've done for you previously, as a business. So when you see businesses coming here, record music and what demand money, because they are going to use the pictures of your school for their benefit of CSI project. That's a CMX. Our call me. I'll come and demand the money. I'll show them where they are required to give money in the school. I get someone like that in our young countries. They shall put them teacher further the salary. Gym equipment, leadership, you are talking opportunities. Now I'm giving ideas to these people. I know there are people thinking ideas right now as I'm talking. Gym equipment as a school. Do you know Virgin Active? Those machines that they change machines now and again. Those machines can come to the school which they are changing. They don't have to take them anywhere else. This is a non-profit organization. So we can have a hall or a room filled with people in municipal or Virgin Active. There's a school in Soweto that I've assisted. Put Jamlan on Virgin Active donated those. Now it's up to you as a school to sell them or to keep them. And those things are expensive. It's not 2001. Right. Anybody else with an idea for fundraising? It's all point. Any other question? On the presentation now, because I can work actually about what on the presentation, question, comment? Input? What was I talking about? My brother, what was I talking about? Happy I mistaken you for the whole. Okay. I wanted to change my accent. Hey brother, how you doing? I can you know what was I talking about? I'm pointing at you because I can tell you still have the energy as a young person. What was I talking about? After not the Latabane, the Marubit. All right. Huh?
I'm still getting the information.
Anyone?
Yeah, you were talking about selfless people and selfish people. That you can't bring change if you don't confront them, such as some of the other things you do.
Do you remember those points? Are they true? Anyone else? If your husband or your wife at home asks you, All right, I'm done leadership. You can come and close the session if there are no more questions. But remember, for those who want the books, you can order the books there. They are going to help you. They're going to help you. The stuff I'm talking about there is powerful. Then in the next session later on, I'll bring other titles as well. But it's important you, as an educator, you read Masapa. Don't only end up in the diploma which you procure. You must read to consistently develop yourself, and as well your articulation and language. Okay? Even Matata, when somebody can't even speak proper English, and when we find out who they are educators, it becomes a problem. And this is a reality. It's a reality in Gauteng, I don't know here. Also here. So you get teachers who can't speak. I'm not saying speaking English is a measure of intelligence. I'm not there. But it's a language that is adopted globally. If you go to America, you'll need to speak English. Arifiki Dara and Akshay, nobody will hear. Leadership over. So,
thank you, sir. I'm not sure if it was yesterday, somewhere, some days back, I heard that we teachers were taking our kids to private schools because we are avoiding something. I'm not sure whether it's true, but I guess we have gained a lot from this, from Mr. Paloi. I'm very much happy for you to be here today, and everybody got the information. When he motivated us in Belarela, at Belarela there, I also have that thinking, hey, I wish I had all my staff here. It was happening. I guess I saw Mr. Spadala calling me, hey, you want this guy to come from school. Immediately after that session, Mr. Spadala called me, what is my name? I want this guy to come. Unfortunately, the second manager made a nice arrangement for us. Let's clap hands for him. In another furniture, we are done. And I thought the member will be around to announce what will happen after this. I guess he's still busy outside, but there's something outside. I wanted her to tell us how are we going to march going outside.